Right, welcome back. I've started cutting up the floor now. I used a multi-tool with just a multi-purpose blade. It's not too big a teeth, but it's for wood and plastic. You can see it's chewed a bit of the teeth off there on it, but it's worked its way through. As I say, I'll show you what it cuts like. And I've cut through the single skin of the floor makeup of this boat. And as I say, you can see more squares of the plywood type there, or compost as it is now. But I'm going to rip that up, but I'll show you just on camera how this goes through. So might be a bit noisy, but I'm doing it one hand, so it goes. Say it's not the end of the world if you go through the hole, but you don't want to. But say it's not a very thick layup. But as I say, I've done that. What's that? 12 inches, no, 10 inches. It's about 250 mil. So that's how quick you can cut through. As I say, it's only, I don't know, 1.5 mil fiberglass, 2 mil thick of fiberglass. So it's not that bad, and you can say the wood's rotten under there anyway. So I'm gonna rip that up now, this section up here. Might have to go along it with the wall against the upstand of the boat there. If not, I'll just snap it off and I'll just go over it with the skirfing disc, or I'll nip down the side there. I'll see how it breaks off, but it'd be easy just to snap it off and just go over it with a skirfing disc, 40 grit, something like that. And I'm going to carry on down the rest of there as well, and you don't really need to see that, but I'll come back and when I've cut that off. A few hours later. Right, I think I sussed out why they do the squares. If you, oh, by the way, I found a previous poor repair in the boat, quite a big hole in there. But if it's like you've got individual cells, when you do the squares, the only problem I can see with this one, it was done in softwood, so it looked like it just had 2x2, and they just run it through the chop saw and cut off sort of 15 mil, 20 mil blocks. So they cut sort of down the end grain, and it's softwood. But if you say stick all the individual squares on the floor of the boat, and you leave probably a millimetre gap if you can in between, like you was doing the tiling in a bathroom, something like that, then you stick them down and then you pour resin over the top and you roll it in, and then you lay fiberglass chop strand mat on top of it. You've got like a honeycomb effect. You've got individual cells. So say for instance, like with that hole down there, if that's obviously something come up and punched it from the underneath, you're only going to affect then maybe 3 blocks or 4 like blocks, like in the 4 cells. So basically then really you shouldn't contaminate any other parts of the floor. So if it was like one sheet of ply, which I haven't eliminated, I'm not going to do or anything yet, but if it's one sheet of ply, that hole there would saturate the whole of the ply. It would suck it all up and it would just run completely across the floor, then the whole floor would blow. Whereas if you did it in individual like little pockets, then because you've got say like a millimetre gap in between each block, the resin would pour down the side of it and the ends of it, and that then would make your own cell, and only that pocket would then become wet. One, reducing weight as well for water in the wood, and 2, actually contaminate another cell, so to speak. So that's my idea of it, and I'm sure it might not be right, but if anyone's got any more ideas, or drop a comment down in below the box. But yeah, that's a poor repair. It was obviously done from the outside because it was double skin, and it's not really wetted out properly either, because you can still see the mat is probably Kevlar or something like that, or they've used, and it's still sort of like dry. So what I'm going to do is, obviously I need to carry on taking the floor. This is probably 2 hours I've been doing this now, and I have actually found, especially down there as well, some solid, and you can see the bits of wood there, it's like a milky colour, so it's not even treated, just softwood. I've actually found quite a few hard bits of wood, and literally have to go there with a hammer and chisel, or a hammer and sort of like sharp scraper, and chop them all out individually, and careful I don't go through the hole with it. So that's taken a long time, but I say I've done all that section there, all the way down there, and as I say, I'm going to chop the rest of the floor up today, and I might do that one tomorrow, or I might do it tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow actually. So yeah, I'm going to chop this section of floor up and clean it all up. Then I will jet wash it down. Jet washer should get all the bits of glue up and bits of sawdust that's still in there, and then when it's cleaned, dry it all out, and then I think I'll take a belt sander to it. And one thing I did find is that, you probably won't see it, but now I've sort of weakened the floor a little bit more, I can see where the wheels of the trailer are. So what I'm gonna have to do is jack it up and maybe run some scaffold boards down either side of the V, especially where the wheels are. Otherwise, when I do the fiberglass, I'm going to get a hump in it, because obviously it's sort of like weak now and thin, so it's going to, like, the wheels are going to stick through the profile of the hole. So I'm going to have to do the V first. So, or if it is on there, just jack it up, put some scaffold boards down, do the V first, and then I can prop it up from the V, and then obviously I'll get a straight run either side of the side bits of the boat. Right, so I'll take a couple more pics when I've finished and swept it down, and I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow. Right, I did get that bit of floor and side finish, what I wanted to get done, and there's the hole. Just got that little bit there to do on that side there, and then that side of the floor to you sailors out there, the port side of the floor to do. Hopefully it won't take too long, because the floor come up a lot easier than the V bit down there, the sharp bit of the hole. So hopefully that will come up, so you should better get a shovel under there and prise it up, and shouldn't probably take about an hour and a bit, 2 hours maybe tomorrow. Then, as I say, that bit as well. And what I'll do then, as I said, is jet wash it down. Hopefully that will get all the dirt out of there and the mud and decomposed wood out of there. Sponge it all out, and then attack it with the sander. Try with a belt sander or scurf and disc, see which one's good. And I'll do all the sides as well, trim them bits back where there was the side, and just cut them rails off. I can't remember, I don't even know what was there, whether it was a seat or what, but cut them off, sand them down, and then it's a case of deciding what I'm going to do wood wise with the floor. Gonna definitely lay maybe 3 layers 650 chop strand mat, strengthen up the floor, obviously repair that hole, just sand that all the way back, and build up in about 5 patches. Each one start off small, just covering the hole, then bigger, slightly bigger, slightly bigger, slightly bigger, and just build it up in a big patch. As I say, then I can pick up with the floor and fill a bit of the transom as well, where there's holes like air pockets in there, and as I say, sides as well. So I'll get about 3 layers of 650 chop strand mat on top of it, and then I'll start laying the floor, and then I can build up a bit more then as well. Right, oh, just before I go, right, there is a bit of the floor cut out, and as you can see, you've got like a rotten side on there, and it's dry halfway through. So you can see it's a softwood, but that's why I think they do it in that little pockets, little offcuts, because as I say, it doesn't rot right the way through. As you say, you can see that that's literally sodden and it's soft as you like. And let's just say that is, well, it's softwood, but it's good as it was when it was new. So that is the reason I think why they did it with the little squares and poured resin in, so you got little individual cells. And I get it, that side of it. I'm not sure structure wise whether, you know, being individually sort of pocketed, whether that gives it more strength or less strength or flexible, I don't know, but I can understand why they do it, the fact that it doesn't rot all the floor out. Right, okay, old enough now. I'm going to clean up. Hopefully I'll come back tomorrow and get the other side done. I'll come back to you then.